Why do scholarships even matter? Why do I talk about scholarships so much? First of all, scholarships are a badge of honor. Scholarships signal to professors, other students, and employers your competitiveness as a student and professional. If some other group of people has decided to give you money to help you pay for school, that says something about you. Furthermore, winners keep winning. It's like a virtuous cycle. The more scholarships and awards you get, the more likely you are to get more scholarships and awards. And of course, put them all on your resume. Financial freedom. I feel like what we're all striving for in life to some degree or another is to be happy, is to feel useful, and to feel free. That's what I feel like everyone's trying to go for is happy, useful, and free. And everything that you're striving for can fall into one of those categories. And I want for you to be financially free, not buried under student loan debt. And the more scholarships you get, the less student loan debt you will take on, or the less of your savings or your family savings you will need to spend to pay for school. Here's where to get the biggest and best scholarships. For most professional degrees like business school, policy school, law school, public health, urban planning, masters of social work, education, these are all professional degrees. The biggest and best fellowships are going to come from your target schools. Sometimes schools have separate scholarship application forms. Sometimes scholarships are determined by the admissions application, just the regular application you submit to get in that you use to apply to the school. And sometimes it's a mixture of both, which can be very confusing. For example, Harvard Kennedy School gives out lots and lots of scholarships simply based on the application that you submitted for admission. But then they also have a whole bunch of other scholarships that you have to apply to separately. It is a combination of both your application you submit for acceptance into the school, and then there's also a separate application you can submit for various scholarships. So they have a hybrid process. Sometimes large and prestigious external scholarships and fellowships for graduate school are awarded while you are still in college. The earlier you start looking for scholarships and fellowships for grad school, the better. And you can get scholarships to help pay for grad school while you are in grad school. So you don't want to stop looking for scholarships and fellowships once you've been accepted. You want to continue looking while you're still in grad school. What is financial aid? Financial aid is money to help you pay for college or grad school. Financial aid can include grants, which is free money based on need, based on your financial need. Scholarships, that's also free money, but that's based on qualities about you, such as your academic achievements, maybe even your personal background or your career goals. Work study is money allocated to you that you can earn by having a job on campus. A subsidized loan is money you have to pay back. It's a loan from the government, and it's where the federal government pays your student loan interest while you're in school. An unsubsidized loan is a loan where the government does not pay your interest while you're in school. Scholarships versus fellowships. A scholarship is mostly just free money that helps you pay for school and school-related expenses such as books and housing and food. A fellowship is going to be money that helps you pay for school and school-related expenses, but it also is going to be combined with learning and networking opportunities such as field trips, speaker events, training, and personal development. Some fellowships have more of an emphasis on the money that they give you. Some have more of an emphasis on the experiences they give you. And sometimes fellowships do not provide any money, only learning opportunities, experiences, field trips, etc. So you can get a fellowship that's not actually money at all. An external scholarship or fellowship is a scholarship or fellowship that you get from an organization that you can use at more than one school. For example, it might be a scholarship that covers you getting an MBA, but you can choose which business school you go to. Let's talk more about financial aid. You do not have to accept all parts of a financial aid package. You can accept some parts of your financial aid package and decline other parts of your financial aid package. And of course, you don't ever want to decline any of the free money. Always accept the scholarships and the grants for sure. All correspondence and communication related to your financial aid package should be in writing. Do not ask your questions about your financial aid package via phone. The reason why is there's no evidence of what the person told you. If someone gives you wrong information or tells you, oh yeah, we're going to give you $10,000 more scholarship, there's no one to back up what they actually said so that you know that that's going to happen for sure. You want everything related to your financial aid package in writing. We always want you to minimize your student loan debt. One of our goals here at the Art of Applying is always to help our clients take out as little student loan debt as possible. For example, here's some rough math. For every $10,000 in student loan debt that you can avoid taking out, you will save about $100 per month for every month for the next 10 years. That's a lot of savings. You also want to aim to take out in student loan debt no more than the salary of your first job out of graduate school. For example, if you intend to earn $70,000 per year in your first job after graduate school, you should take out no more than $70,000 to pay for your graduate degree. So that's a pretty conservative piece of advice, financially conservative. But I think when it comes to debt, and especially student loan debt, it pays off to be conservative versus loosey goosey. And by that, I mean you want to conservatively estimate how much money you plan to make after school. It should be grounded in research, which is going to lead into our homework assignment. But you don't want to say, oh, yeah, I don't know, I'm going to go get a master's in education. I bet I'll make about $90,000 in my first job out of school. What evidence, what data do you have to substantiate that estimate that you're going to make $90,000 after getting your master's in education? That doesn't match up to me. Don't create a myth for yourself to rationalize taking out a lot of student loan debt. Keep your student loan debt as low as possible, or at least in line with what you have a realistic chance of earning in your first job. Homework for each of your target schools: visit the websites of their financial aid office. Get clear on the financial aid application deadline for each of your schools. Is it the same as the application deadline, or is it later? Get clear on whether each of your target schools has a separate scholarship and fellowship application process. Visit the career services website of each of your target schools. Now, this might be called professional development, career development. It's always called, it has something like career or the word professional in it, or the word development. Get clear on what the salary expectations are for graduates of your target schools based on the sector, industry, geography, and function in which you plan to work. You need to nail down as many of those things as possible to get an accurate understanding. For example, most jobs in New York City pay way more than most jobs in Austin, Texas. And that's because we have a lower cost of living than New York City. Austin, Texas, where I'm from and where I currently live, is getting more and more expensive every day, but it's still less expensive than New York. And our salaries and jobs reflect that. So you want to be clear that you're looking at the sector, industry, geography, and function in which you plan to work to get as accurate as possible of an estimate of what you should expect to earn after school. If you can't find this information on the career services website of your target schools, you're going to have to use other types of websites that provide transparency into your earnings.
Let's do a quick recap of what we've learned today. We learned about different types of financial aid: grants, scholarships, work study, subsidized and unsubsidized loans. We also discussed the difference between scholarships and fellowships and how some might not necessarily provide monetary support, but rather offer experiences and learning opportunities. We learned about financial aid. We talked about how it's not necessary to accept all parts of your financial aid package. Remember, always accept the free money and make sure everything related to your financial aid package is in writing. We also learned about minimizing student loan debt. We discussed how important it is to keep your student loan debt as low as possible. As a rule of thumb, don't borrow more than your expected salary after graduation. You should conservatively estimate your post-graduation income based on evidence and data. I advised you to visit the career services website of your target schools to find out salary expectations for graduates based on sector, industry, geography, and function. I also assigned to you to get clear on the financial aid application deadline for each of your target schools and find out whether there's a separate scholarship and fellowship application process besides the regular application form and essays that you need to submit. We also discussed the importance of scholarships. Scholarships are not just about financial support. They're badges of honor that signal your competitiveness to professors, students, and employers. Winning scholarships puts you in a virtuous cycle where your chances of getting more awards increase. We also discussed where to find scholarships. The biggest and best scholarships for most professional degrees are usually offered by the school itself, either through the admissions application or a separate scholarships application. It's also possible to receive external scholarships and fellowships while in grad school, so never stop looking. Remember, our main goal here at The Art of Applying is not just to help you get into your dream school, but also to help you get in with the least amount of student loan debt. We want you to achieve the financial freedom that lets you pursue your dreams without worrying about paying back a mountain of debt. So that's it for today. Go out there and get that money, you high dollar scholar.